this much peanut is the equivalent calorie of your entire meal. My dad used to eat this much. You know, how to tell him?
Dude, my dad genuinely thinks if you're eating with your drink, that's not dinner.
Yeah.
This man is consuming 4,000 calories before his dinner.
Yeah.
And then he wants his full meal. And, bring back body shaming your parents. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani.
I'm Naina Bhan.
This was our second take. I forgot I say I'm Sakshi Shivdasani. I was like, that's Naina's line, obviously.
In our previous take, I was saying that I want to go to a hypnotherapist. I wrote it as a gag on our WhatsApp group, but I genuinely feel like between my different jobs and then having a little bit of a life and doom scrolling, I actually don't think about what all has gone on in my life.
Someone said that being indoors makes you think less, and then when you're outdoors, your brain gets activated. So people have this thing, one reel. Actually, a static post.
She's evolving, guys.
Don't make any decision indoors. I don't know why so many people have sent me this on Instagram. Like, at least 8 people have sent me the static post. It's not like I'm making any decisions indoors or outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing of like making decisions outdoors is like when you're active, then some part of your brain is firing that doesn't allow you to go into this like, this spiral that you have when you're at home.
Yeah. And also at home, I feel like I'm never screenless.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like if I decide not to doom scroll on my phone and watch something, I'm like, productive.
Yeah.
Because like my phone feels like a never-ending void that I'm feeding into. And no reels are that funny, I'll be honest.
But you're addicted.
I'm quite addicted, but I'm conscious. This is my consciously trying to de-screen my life era.
So you're getting
I
off
say.
Instagram. Yeah. How are you de-screening?
I mean, I've just started like first hour of the day. I'm not going to check my phone after the first 10 minutes. I'm just like, oh, no screen time for a bit. I'm not even having fun with it.
I'm also in the same negotiation where I wake up and I've read somewhere that you should not look at your phone in the first 40 minutes. So I'm like, obviously this means reels. So I can watch long form. So I start watching long form.
On your TV. Yeah.
On my phone.
Oh. For me, it's like phone, bad, TV, good.
But
Education.
I have 2 phones. So I start looking at Instagram on one phone. I'm like, okay, I'm getting off this phone. Then I open Instagram on my other phone. So I've divided my screen time between 2 phones. And both phones say 14 hours. So what does that say about me? Which means that I am the primary candidate, not just you, me too. We are all part of an audience of women that are being sold a lot of consumer habits as just wellness and lifestyle and vibes.
Yeah, and also women are the most susceptible to digital marketing. So it's very easy. Like everyone in influencer marketing is like, I want an all-woman audience. And I don't think it's because we're respectful and sweet and fun and smart, which we are. It's because we are the easiest targets for digital marketing.
I'm telling you, like, you guys haven't got us to 100K and that's okay, not taking it personally. But every time we enter a room with a bunch of suits, right? Other people wearing suits. We are dressed exactly
We are
like
wearing
this.
suits without anything inside, the blazer.
Everybody on the other side, we're like, you know what? Our audience split is 77% women 18 to 35. They're like, give it to us. Let us use your platform to sell all of these advertiser goods. They literally get hard to the fact that we have got this audience split because all of us, it's not just you, it's the 2 of us as well that are falling within that loop. Every time we try a sponsored product on our podcast, we fall in love with that product.
It gets added to our routine if it's not already part of our routine. So in that spirit, we decided we'll do a propaganda that we all fall for. I feel like I'm too reels away from being a conspiracy theorist, and I think you also.
I'm in it. No, I am the person who's falling for the conspiracy. I am that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, some things that we have fallen for end up being just a marketing scam that's being sold to us. And we thought, why not do a deep dive, which I don't know if any of y'all are interested in, but Naina and I kind of talk about this a lot when we're on our walks, and the entire team also does talk about, like, oh, you know, I read this and it's fake news and it's fake news. And just not in the Trump kind of way, just in a very educated hot girl kind of way.
Yeah, in a Maybelline teddy tint is actually not bad kind of way. I don't know why there was so much PR around it being scathing.
Wait, was there?
Yeah, everyone's like, this product sucks, but I actually
Oh.
don't mind it.
Yeah,
It's chill.
nice. It's
Yeah.
a product.
Let's take it one step back. What is propaganda? Propaganda is a series of information that is pushed to people repeatedly that is meant to incite a certain feeling within you, right?
Thank you, Anupam Mittal.
Um, just so
Yeah,
we're on the
that
same
is true.
page. And of course, earlier, the information that was being pushed out to us, there were very specific channels, right? Like there were radio ads, or there were TV ads, or there were, I remember back in the day, like people used to have these like marketing groups of women could go door to door and sell you certain products, and you would
An
get these,
MLM,
yeah, an MLM. Thank you
a
so much.
pyramid marketing scheme.
Yeah.
Amway.
Yeah, all of that, right? Now it's become even like softer and way more aesthetic and way more subtle, and it's constantly being pumped to you, right? So you see a bunch of people on your Instagram wearing like athleisure and drinking matcha and being like, okay, this is the life. That's like a moral signaling to you that
Yeah.
your 9 to 5 is not worth it.
Yeah.
Let me become an influencer because this seems clearly like the life.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
The pipeline, right? The trend of me on a casual Wednesday afternoon because I didn't marry a loser. And then that pipeline kind of goes into, I believe that all families should have one vote and the man should be the only one to vote. And then that goes into like baking bread for my husband, you know? So
Yeah.
that entire pipeline. But it's very aesthetically pleasing. So, and I will say depending on the day till I wake up, I'm like, I did fall for that, but then my instincts kicked in. But there's always, because it looks so good and everyone's doing it and everyone's on the bandwagon, that it's like, oh, what am I going to hold on to my job? Like, which is also not appealing, right? Everyone likes financial independence. I'm not sure if everyone likes working for it,
Yeah.
but that's the only way to it.
Yeah.
So,
And the baseline of that is that all women have a spectrum of fears and insecurities, and they have built beautifully through your entire life. Every year, every week, every month, you have a new insecurity, a new way to hate yourself. And what better way to feel better about that than to be like, hey, this lady on the internet, she's wearing a butter yellow outfit and she's running through a meadow while her husband's working. What a life. I
and her
want
ducks
that.
are chasing her.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's a dangerous pipeline.
What's one insecurity for you that was created on the internet that you were like, fuck this?
One insecurity that has followed me and follows both of us through life, and especially because we are constantly setting ourselves every day, is I have in the last 2 years become so obsessed with my face, with the way it is aging. I know I'm seeing it in my head more than it's actually happening. I did try like 4 years ago to try and do filler for my under eye. It was the worst decision. All of these bitches sold it as this great fucking elixir to youth. I looked so bad, and I
Makes
looked
your face puffy.
like there were 2 bags under my
Oh,
eyes,
no,
2
okay.
separate bags under my eyes, and everyone anyway was like, are you tired? Now they're like, are you tired, depressed, and do you hate yourself because you look fucking ugly? That's how it feels when
Okay,
someone's like, how are
okay.
you? So I dissolved it immediately. Now again, no one tells you that when you dissolve filler, one, it's painful, 2, that it makes that same place sag even more, you
Oh.
know, or that say Botox is toxic. You don't know all of these things. You're like, oh, this woman looks great. Oh my God, Kris Jenner's 3rd facelift is so awesome. You know?
Also, that Botox is basically paralyzing a part of your face like for a temporarily. But when people started the trap Botox because it looks more aesthetic, but basically you're not able to use that muscle because you're voluntarily going and paralyzing that part of your body, was so upsetting for me to find out, because I was fully considering it, because sometimes you just want a certain aesthetic. But I was saying more from the lens of I do remember a couple of years ago, or when I just started, people started going like, underarms need to look a certain way, which was not even an insecurity that I had. And then at one point I started getting like, oh my god, why are you doing anything for your dark underarms? And I was like, what? And then someone was like, I wish I was as confident as you to lift my arm when my underarms are dark. And I said, y'all are literally making up insecurities and then giving me confidence. Like, oh my god, she's so brave. Her dark underarms that are so disgusting and puke worthy, and she lifted her hand. And I was like, what?
I love how everyone's inner monologue, and comment down below if this is the way you talk to yourself in your brain. It's like, oh my god, you are so disgusting. You
gross bitch. Get the fuck up.
Literally.
I've realized that sometimes I'll be doing something and I'll catch a reflection of myself and I out loud say, yuck. It just comes so naturally to me.
Propaganda I fell for, getting married. Fully. Like, I was like, fully the wedding scam of like, oh my god, this is the outfit I'm going to wear when I walk down that.
This is the song.
Yeah. Fully fell for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not worth it.
And
Yeah.
all the statistics say, the only people that are trying to propagate this propaganda are the people benefiting from it. And very recently, I was arguing with my boyfriend, or like I was like, I don't want to do this. And he was like, sometimes in life, you have to do things you don't want to. And I looked at him and I said, you have to do things you don't want to, because you need me more than I need you.
I went on relationship advice recently and I made one joke that I know is not going to land, which was basically about like, what was it? It was about if you are torturing someone in a relationship long enough, then the bare minimum positive that you give them, they are so happy.
Yeah.
And the only person in the room who went, woo!
And then I was like, I got
Was
a woo.
Sakshi.
It was me from the background. And I'm sitting there fully like my boyfriend's hand wrapped around me. We're holding hands and a man-hating joke. I'm like, woo! And then like 8 people turned around and then Arjun was just like... I love it. Well, basically women in male fields, because that's what men do.
Yeah. Fully.
And you know what that says? If anyone in a position of power, abusing it feels so good.
Woo!
But I also wanted to go into some childhood propaganda that we all as a country fell for, and it still is part of our life. One which is very upsetting to me personally is that Kurkure is plastic. I don't know who spread this.
It's not plastic.
It's not plastic.
It's fully plastic.
It's processed. It's not plastic.
The process of turning plastic into an edible item.
Kurkure is corn. It's literally like Doritos. It's not
Which is
any
another
worse.
plastic.
Yeah, it's not any worse than Lay's or Doritos or Cheetos or whatever.
Yeah.
But Kurkure got the bad rep for being plastic.
I think if you light it, it turns into like a candle or something.
No.
Sure?
No.
Okay.
But does Kurkure burn like that?
I think. Do you have Kurkure? Yeah, let's try.
But Kurkure solid masti is so amazing. It doesn't burn like that. But maybe corn is flammable. You know?
No, it's. One sec. Office mein thoda sa.
Okay. This has incited some emotion in the... I don't believe that processed food is bad for you. So even if it is plastic, I have lived 29 years. Because corn can't be processed by the body anyway, and neither can plastic, so you'll just poop it out.
I'm in the other state of affairs, so I'm like, okay, I'm not eating the Kurkure, but my phone is lying on my fucking lap all the time. My child's gonna come out looking like this, dude.
It starts migrating towards the heat of the foam. Comes out like this.
It comes out like this.
It's like, you know, when you used to get your period and you had to put a hot water bag, we would just keep our laptops. Your child is blue. That's literally how Homelander was created in The Boys. But another one was that Maggie kills
come
you
back
or
to
some-
Kurkure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That, I don't have a case study
Oh.
on that. It's a thought
brought
very
up her
close to my house.
House?
Heart. Same thing.
Okay. So Maggie is not plastic.
Maggie, but it was recalled. Maggie was literally recalled for having something harmful. And within 5 days, everyone was like, yum, Maggie, I missed you so much. But I want to know where Kurkure got the bad rep from. If anyone knows, please comment.
Oh.
I
thought our research team did the
no,
research.
this one was fresh from the top of my
Of your
head.
head, yeah.
But the research team has a lot of research, and this one I was very shocked to come across.
Yeah, let me know.
What do you know about carrots as a vegetable?
If you eat lots of them, your palms turn red.
Okay.
And it sorts out your eyesight.
That was actually during World War II, the British Ministry of Information spread that myth because they didn't want to talk about their technology. Their RAF pilots had exceptional aim because they ate a lot of carrots, was the myth that they spread, to conceal that they had newly developed radar technology. And this myth has stuck around to this day.
Crazy. Sab kurkure khao yaar.
Literally.
Feel
It was spread by Doritos, that rumor, the Kurkure rumor. As
I was
the
just gonna
only
say,
corn snack.
if you have weak eyesight, just like one bag of kurkure a day and then you do this. And you're going to be sorted. Latex. LASIK is a scam.
I think LASIK is a scam.
Yeah?
I feel. I'm too scared to try it.
That's why
Yeah.
anything I'm scared to try is a scam.
It has to be marketing.
Can I tell you something? Okay, I think that the walking pad, I have feelings about it. It's good. It's good. It gets the job done because it's a fucking walking pad.
Yeah.
But if I ever look up to watch TV, I trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're just supposed to listen to the TV while you're walking.
No. You have to reduce the speed till you get comfortable walking on.
I fall at every speed.
Really?
I satcowed it to my cupboard. So if I fall, only my head will get hit, but my balance will stay.
No, if you're
locked
not
in.
like, okay, I've been walking on the walking pad for a while. Behind me is my sofa just in case. But I will say if I zone out, then I like get
Fall,
a little.
right?
I've never fallen.
Like you get wobbly.
Yeah, I get wobbly. But if I'm watching something and I'm walking at the same pace,
Yeah.
then how will I fall?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But then to add to that, I thought that if you watch something while you walk, it becomes more fun.
It does.
It's so fucking boring.
No, it depends on what you're watching.
Oh.
Yeah. You have to find a show that you want to watch. Like Slow Horses, I think, is a good show. Succession is a good show because they have a lot of like quips that you miss if you're like second screening.
Okay.
This is the first screening show.
Got it. We should
Yeah.
make a playlist for shows you can watch to
While
walk to.
walking, yeah. Yeah, sometimes but the time really drags, and at that point you have to like every 1 minute you're like, okay, I'll change the speed. Like you start at a high speed and every 1 minute you change the speed. So if you start at a speed of 6, after 40 minutes you are on a speed of 2. So you walked for 40 minutes. So then you have to gamify. It's really not worth it because actually, so you know the 10,000 steps thing
Yeah.
is actually a marketing thing by a clock company in Japan to promote selling pedometers before the Tokyo Olympics. And it said 10,000 was a number chosen because it was memorable and clever, and the symbol in Japanese is apparently very cute. The 10,000 steps ka symbol. And it said it's for fat loss and whatnot. We all know the benefits. And everyone started doing it because it sounded like we had the hack for fat loss. But turns out that there's no clinical trials, no major benefit, and the actual sweet spot for steps is 3,000 to 7,000 steps a day. You can walk more, but the benefits really plateau after that. And
Really?
yeah, it's basically after that you can do it. There's like
So wait,
stamina बढ़ जाएगी.
you did it for a year.
Yeah.
Did you not feel a difference?
For me, honestly, I felt a difference in the sense that I was able to eat everything and I wasn't putting on weight. But the same thing in a calorie deficit and walking 5,000 steps a day, I have been losing weight. And I'm so sorry for propagating this propaganda.
So I'm confused with even with PCOS, right? There
Yeah.
are certain things with PCOS you're not supposed to do. So like lactose is bad for you. It's inflammatory. Gluten is bad for you because it's like mill processed gluten. It's not the gluten that your dadi used to eat from the khet, right? Which is why they could eat copious amounts of it. And they're like, हमने तो खाया है तो तुमको भी खाना चाहिए, नहीं मत खाओ. And they're like, okay, HIIT is really bad for PCOS.
HIIT, but in general, I think it increases your heart rate a lot so that your fat burning zone is your zone 2, right? At
Yeah.
least on all the research that's done. Now, HIIT will increase it to zone 3, zone 4, and then
Basically, it creates stress in your body, and if your body
Yeah.
is in stress,
It's
then
inflamed.
It's inflamed, and your body can't recover properly. Your hormones then go off
Yeah.
balance. But in my personal life, what I have found is that every time I've been in a high intensity workout, I feel like my periods are better. I feel like my hormone balance is
Yeah.
better. So I really don't know where I stand on that.
I also feel like a lot of research on PCOS, which has now been renamed after women have been saying for years, is not fully done because no one really cares about women's health in that way.
Yeah.
So another thing is that, which again I don't believe, because for me, every time I'm around my female friends, our period cycles sync, but apparently there is no scientific data to back that. Women have been saying it for years, but people are like, oh, it's a coincidence, it's a that, it's a this. But I know that there's 2 people in my life, if I meet them when they're on their period, I will get my period that same day. So I avoid meeting them when I'm like, please go back, don't eat the same food as me. Another propaganda that I heard, and I think it's true actually, like I'm falling for it. The pain that women feel during labor, it is less than what a man feels when they have a common cold.
I was waiting to hear what would be on the other side. Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, because men, they get really down bad with a common cold. So obviously,
Yeah,
It
it's not a
must-
common cold. It's a unique cold
It's a
to that man's life. Yeah.
it's a rare cold for them, truly. But I just feel like, how the witch trials were a thing and everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that chainsaws were literally created to aid in childbirth. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
The original use of a chainsaw was to pry a woman's hips open
Eee.
while she gave childbirth, and this used to be done without anesthesia. So, chainsaw, like to cut through bone. It was not it was to cut through bone in case you needed to during childbirth.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah. A chainsaw, the original use was to cut through women's bones to aid in childbirth.
and then they were like, that's too dark. Let's repackage it as a chainsaw because
Yeah.
bone saw.
It's not.
It's
yeah.
killing the vibe.
Yeah, because then bone saw sounds. Because they stopped using it for bones after a while because it's barbaric.
Yeah.
And maybe the barbarians were doing it. I don't know who was doing it, but I read it in the Museum of Torture
Oh, yeah.
that we had gone to together.
I still to this day think about that museum, and I genuinely stand by the fact that I have not seen this much innovation in women's health
Yeah.
than in women's torture.
No, that was really bad,
Like they
actually.
had something for everything. They had something for your ears, they had something for your vag, they had something for your feet,
For your mouth.
for your mouth.
There was one thing where, like, if what was it where the woman had to wear something on her head?
She had to wear a mask of like
Spikes.
spikes
Yeah.
and parade naked through the streets.
And for what?
She called him ugly.
Yeah,
That's
whatever. What
Whatever.
could she have done, honestly? Yeah.
There's this really fun show on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have watched it. It is called The Decameron, and it's set in the bubonic plague in Europe. And it's this satire about the elites who are trying to find like a summer home where they can all be like plague free.
Quarantine together,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
basically. It's so funny. You guys have to watch it if you haven't.
Basically, the banana bread COVID generation.
Yeah, but in the bubonic plague.
That's the thing. When you think of history, you're like, okay, this thing happened, but imagine it happening to you sounds insane. But
Yeah.
I feel like I would also be looking for a vacation home.
Nothing changes. No people in the past were heroes. No people in the
Yeah.
past were black and white. Morals weren't stronger in the past. It's just that that's how history is painted. History is not painted with nuance. Like, I'm reading this one book called Bend in the Ganges, and it's written by, I forgot the author's name, but it was written in the 40s, and it's following these two men. One guy's like this elite who was part of a terrorist group that was trying to overthrow the British.
Okay.
And the other guy is like a poorer guy whose whose family put together all these funds to send him to college. So he's caught in this like class identity. He has at that point decided to become a pacifist because he believes in Gandhi's non-violence, okay? Where the other side are like, Gandhi is propagating, he's making India look too soft. We can't look so soft in front of the British, okay?
Yeah.
So this pacifist who's kind of trying to take this pacifism on in this trend of I am part of a more, like a polished culture. Him and his brother go to fight for something. The brother's like, no, you stay behind. And the brother dies in the process.
Oh.
And so he feels like an absolute phony, being like, oh, I've taken on these ideals of like pacifism, but I couldn't even stand up for my brother where it counted. And now I've lost this man. So it's looking at all these characters as humans trying to make sense of a world, which is exactly where we are right now. We're trying to make sense of the world and see where we stand. No one was so black and white.
Yeah. Which is what I feel like exactly what you're saying about, like, when you talk about war or events in history, they sound like this happened and this happened and this happened. But then I think about the Russia-Ukraine war and when that started, and then everyone was like, oh, Russia's going to win this war. It's not even a fight or anything. And then when the Russian battleships went into war and they all broke down in real time because they hadn't been used for a really long time. But I don't think that part is going to make it to any history textbook.
Or the converse of like where there's bombings happening, but there's also reels of people like partying at a club
In
on
a different rooftop.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's no one told you about that.
Yeah. And no one will.
Yeah, no one
That's not the part of history that's out. But I feel
Yeah.
like that is interesting,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it is interesting. Or like in the last weeks of Hitler's survival, they were all drunk and fucked up on drugs because they were
Yeah.
like, the world is ending. Party karo. They all died.
I don't know if we can keep this in, but apparently Gandhi was dead against the use of penicillin when his wife was dying. And then a couple of weeks after he got sick and he was like, yeah, actually it's not against my principles to use it.
Yeah, but then a lot of Indian propaganda stems from this time as well, right? Even the idea of like Indian women's morality, which is fed to us as this very sanskari of our roots, of this earth, of India, is a very British Victorian concept.
Dude, yes. Even the surnames thing, Indians did not have surnames. And the British were like, oh, here are some surnames. And now everyone's like, oh, whose surname should my kid have, mine or my husband's? Or
Yeah.
people are like, no, my wife needs to have my surname. And if your surname is ugly, you need to pipe down. That's my...
Yeah, but again, like through this whole thing, right? Even now the Fair and Lovely conversation has at least trickled out of maybe tier one, but growing up it was so force fed to us, right? And that also came from British times when they literally segregated people on basis of color, where they were like, okay, the fairer people will be allowed to have higher positions in British ruled India, and so it became this internalized colonialism, and
Yeah.
and then everyone was kind of hanging out in that ideology
And then
long
the
after.
owners of Fair and Lovely made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now it's just a thing. Even with the whole curly versus straight hair thing, right? India is a tropical country. 75% of us have curly hair.
Yeah.
But white people don't have curly hair. So that's when it's like, oh, like curly hair is like savages have curly hair. Just because more dark skinned people had curly hair than fair people.
But where do you stand on oiling? That's a debate.
Oh, I don't oil my hair actually.
Neither do I, yeah.
But I never had a problem with oiling it. I just never did it.
But I don't think it really does anything for your hair.
I feel like massaging your scalp with any sort of lubricant promotes blood flow, right? Any massage promotes blood flow. So maybe there is something of like that circular motion, but then that tuck 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 chumpy on your head is probably just damaging something.
No, but even leaving oil in your hair and going through life like that, I don't think that really does anything for your hair. Like shampoos, right? I think all of us are having this like conversation about shampoos and how much your pores are clogged and how many times you need to shampoo and what kind of shampoo you need to use. Should it have parabens? Should it have
Sulfates?
Yeah.
But sulfate free shampoos is actually just, again, it was a thing to put. I don't think there's any benefit of your shampoo being sulfate free.
I don't know how to live in a world with sulfate free shampoo. How do you lather your hair? The hard water that you receive through your nalka is not doing anything. I fucking dunked the entire bottle of sulfate free shampoo on my head and nothing is happening. My hair is not cleaner.
But that's the whole thing now. People like will put like, oh, this is chemical free. Chemicals are not all chemicals are bad for you, and not all things natural are good for you. Like
Correct.
poisonous mushrooms are natural actually. They will kill you. So I just feel like it became this whole like everything had chemicals, everything was processed. So then people were like, you know, this can't be good for you because it doesn't occur naturally. Which, sure, some things maybe. But then if it's completely natural to the point that you're basically a measles outbreak was caused because people were like vaccines are bad for you, right, in the
Yeah.
US. So there should be some place where you're like, no, it's better for my kid to have the whole autism, like vaccines cause autism thing was also like just correlation.
I don't know about this vaccine.
So in the US, most parents started becoming anti-vaxxers because they said that vaccines are causing autism in my child. But it's just that vaccines are administered during the same age that autism starts displaying in a child. But then just correlation is causation. You know that
Yeah.
correlation is not causation, but because they were around the same time, people were like, yeah, of course vaccines are causing.
Yeah, of course the vaccines and not the blueberry Red Bull large that you drink every day instead of water, which I don't understand. Americans are so strange, some of them are beautiful and orange and we love them. And they literally don't drink water. How do you not
Really?
drink water, bro? Some people are like, yeah, I just don't like the vibe.
But okay, because earlier in the US, everyone was drinking tap water, but the tap water is not that good anymore because the pipes are rusted and everything. But for them, water purifiers are not inbuilt into their life. For us, it's like obvious if you get a house, it's a water purifier you need. It's one
Yeah.
of the basics. So then they used to have these like jars where they would fill water and that would trickle down really like softly or whatever. And then it was just too inconvenient to drink water because they couldn't drink it from the tap. So then they can buy water purifiers. I'm not justifying.
Yeah.
But it was either bottled water or
Or a blueberry Red Bull.
whatever. Yeah.
I also don't like this water stacking. Please stop using electrolytes just for masti. Like, don't drink electrolytes every day. You are not working in the sun. You are not like, if you're not sweating like through your clothes, you don't need the electrolytes.
What?
Yes.
What do
it's
you
very
mean?
heavy on your organs.
Electrolytes?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I get headaches if I don't have electrolytes.
Your
from
salts could be
dehydration.
lower, but
Yeah.
if you're having electrolytes, don't put the entire amount into the bottle. Like, have a little bit. We're like, yeah, let's dunk this orange, this lime, this cola flavor.
It tastes so good.
It tastes great,
Yeah.
but it fucks your body up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But does it fuck it up more than not drinking water?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're in that world, right, where like you're like,
Too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and too much of nothing is nothing. You have to get the proportion of the electrolyte to the water correct, because if you don't get that correct, then you can actually dehydrate your system further. But it does taste good.
Yeah.
Can't deny.
I just feel like
Like,
one
maza nahi aata.
sachet. One sachet, yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking when I was a kid and I used to like, need to like have electrolytes.
Tang.
No, then you'd get that electrolyte packet, and the water that my parents would make for me with that didn't hit the way
Yeah.
it hits today. And I'm like, wow, the world of electrolytes, they really like gamed up, they leveled up. It tastes so good. But I'm just fucking my system up further.
I like those electrolyte gels a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't need them.
No?
Unless you're like
I-
really sweating and
I mean, if I'm getting headaches from dehydration, I must be sweating.
You are.
Yeah, I'm just a sweaty gal. I feel like I've started sweating a lot, and I'm not vibing with the sweaty version of me. But speaking of like putting shit in your body, one like 2000s may suddenly remember everyone was on a detox diet and a
Yes.
juice cleanse, and it was like, oh, you need to give your system a break for a few days. Juices are just liquid sugar.
Yeah.
And no shit, you lose weight if you don't eat anything. I don't think it. But the myth was your body accumulates toxins from food, pollution, and lifestyle. Detox diets and juice cleanses purge these toxins, and that helps you improve your energy, your metabolism, and all of that. And Kim Kardashian, like the Kardashians started doing it. A lot of Bollywood celebrities started doing it. Kareena Kapoor was on her size 0 thing at that point, and everyone was like, oh, I do a juice cleanse once a month and everything. Now we know it's not good for you to do a juice cleanse.
I really think with the amount of health related information that's out there, and every reel I open is just telling me which is a good protein and which is a bad protein, and a good fat and a bad fat. It's you really have to keep it super basic. Like if your meal is balanced, like even this whole thing about everyone shitting on dal chawal, right? Now you're gonna make dal chawal the evil, the scapegoat for everything. It's all the other shit we're consuming. You're like, okay, you have this little bit of rice and dal, but then my like family is eating like packets of peanuts and like makhana and everything, and that's not doing anything for you.
Yeah.
This much peanut is the equivalent calorie of your entire meal. My dad used to eat this much. How to tell him?
Dude, my dad genuinely thinks that if you're eating with your drink, that's not dinner.
Yeah.
This man is consuming 4,000 calories before his dinner.
Yeah.
And then he wants his full meal. And, bring back body shaming your parents
Yeah, literally.
for health purposes.
Every day you have to get into a conversation with the adults in your life, because their dietary plans are so off. So off. Every day my mamu is telling me I am working out, I'm walking, I'm doing this. I'm like, what are you eating for protein? Yeah, I take 1 egg in 2 days. No.
You know it.
No. Mamu, please have some protein. Just one. Now Amul has come out with kulfis. I'm like,
Too good.
At least eat the kulfi, the protein kulfi. You like kulfi, eat the kulfi. Eat one kulfi
Yeah.
a day. No.
But to be fair, I feel like working out for our parents' generation was like cardio. I don't think strength or protein and everything, I think that's a newer conversation. And if you've grown up believing something, and then your child who has been alive for half your life only maximum, and you don't like the things your child does anyway, comes and tells you eat more protein, you'll be like, bro, I've been born since before you could. Yeah.
But if your child has hit their goal body weight and goal bikini body once in their life, I think you should believe them.
That is true. But also, you think that because there's so much demonizing of protein powders and supplements in India, right? Then you're like, oh, this person has. My family genuinely thinks if I'm like, no, I don't want to eat sugar, they'd be like, she is killing herself.
Yeah.
This poor soul is basically starving herself.
Yeah.
Or if you want to take, like if you eat appetizers and you're like, I'm full for main course, she
she's going through
She's
something.
going through something. I can't believe she's been starving herself all her life.
The way the mental health is not a conversation until you get to the table and someone's like, now you have to eat chole bhature with us. Bhai, I am cutting. No, there's something wrong with her. You know, she thinks she's too smart.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Is anything the problem? And I'm like, I just...
Fight with your boyfriend.
It's just not my carb of choice. But a bhatura does slap. And if it was good for me, I would
slap it.
Ram that shit.
The biggest problem, I'm sure if there's any mothers watching this, comment down below. The minute you have that kid or the minute you're pregnant, 100 pieces of advice that don't hold true. The scariest one which I saw was, okay, so apparently when kids are born, when they're breastfeeding, at some point, they lactate a little bit as a reaction to it. So some wives' tale is that you have to massage the milk out of the baby's chest.
What?
Which actually messes up the baby's health further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know this. That's crazy. I did not even know babies lactate when they're born.
Again, one of those reels that you see, like that third boob.
Oh yeah, that third boob really got to me.
Or that eating for two is what a mother should do.
Yeah.
When they're pregnant. Guys, it's not true.
It's not true. But if you're pregnant and you're going through it, do whatever. I don't think you should force feed yourself, but if you want to, who's going to stop a pregnant woman from doing anything?
No one's going to stop a pregnant woman. In fact, pregnancy is the one time when no one can stop you. Live your best life. Most people who've been pregnant are like, yeah, those 9 months, best time of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because everyone is just like doing service for you.
My mom developed some condition where she couldn't eat salt when she was pregnant with me, and she also had a child who was less than a year old, and she was pregnant, and like she was going through like postpartum stuff while also being pregnant and a child. So I don't think she was having the best time.
But the first time?
The first time, I'll ask. Being pregnant with my sister, I don't think is fun.
Propaganda I don't mind falling for is a push present. I think every woman who gives birth should receive a push present.
I agree, but did you know, speaking of presents for women and how women are really obsessed with diamonds and diamonds are forever, that was a marketing campaign by De Beers, which is a jewelry company, where they wanted to sell diamonds because diamonds were in surplus. So before 1947, the year of our independence, there must be some correlation. Engagement rings rarely featured diamonds, and De Beers had a surplus of diamonds. So the copywriter, whose name we have actually, Francis Giretti, came up with the slogan, "A diamond is forever." And the 2-month salary rule was also an arbitrary invention by the marketing people to get people to spend more.
Yeah. Now my problem is that in our career of freelance, which 2 months are we talking about? Because
bottom 2.
Because I want to hit that post-festive 2 months.
Yeah. Dude, did you watch Desi Bling?
No.
Don't watch it.
Propaganda I'm not falling for.
Yeah. But one of the women, I watched it, okay. One of the women, she keeps talking about how her husband has bought her 40 kgs of gold, and on their 10th anniversary, which is next year, he's going to weigh her and he's going to buy her the equivalent gold. Now, turns out her husband, who is this rich Dubai businessman, is an absconding criminal from India. So people are saying he only wants to buy so much gold because that's the only asset he can keep. So I'm not falling for propaganda that rich people are rich, is what I'm saying.
But yeah, buy gold. But I hate diamonds. I genuinely think that they're quite lame.
I would rather buy 4 pieces of jewelry than one massive diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mind someone weighing me on a scale and giving me.
As soon as someone weighs me on a scale, I'm leaving. My mood is ruined. After that, whatever they end up giving me, it's just not going to hit the same.
So if someone weighed you on a scale and they just gave you one thin gold bracelet after that, would that make you happier or sadder?
No, I would be sad because they're lying to me. And I had to go through the humiliation of being weighed. There's that one guy who walks around in the street asking women how much they weigh, and then they'll say, and then he pulls out a weighing scale and he makes them test it.
I've seen it.
That man needs to go to jail. I mean, that man genuinely needs to go to jail.
Did your mom ever feed you anything for breakfast because she thought it was healthy for kids?
My mom, yeah, she fed me breakfast.
But what specifically that she thought maybe this thing is what is popularly pushed as kids health related?
I'll be honest, my mom genuinely was like, you know, if you're going to eat dessert in the day, you might as well eat it in the morning. So I would very often eat cake for breakfast.
Ouch!
And honestly, if I'm going to eat dessert, might as well eat it in the morning.
Ouch.
Why? What's wrong with eating
Sugar
cake
in
for
the
breakfast as opposed to in the night?
No, there's nothing wrong. Sakshi, you're so right. Auntie, you're so correct in this upbringing. But I'm just saying there's a lot of notions around food, right? And most of it is like propagated by different lobbies.
Yeah, but I also think the breakfast is the most important meal of the day is the cereal people's propaganda, right? Where chocos in the morning was...
Again, dessert for breakfast.
Dessert for breakfast. Yeah, that's what my mom was like. If you're eating chocos, then might as well just eat cake, you know.
But you know, it's the proportions. Like everyone's like, okay, have the chocos because you're going to have the milk. But then, like as kids, we just dunk a bunch of chocos in a bowl and then we put this much milk in it. So we're not drinking milk. We're just eating sugar and wheat.
Did you put the chocos first?
Yeah.
Oh, in India, it ended up being that parents were like, okay, you know what? Let this bitch drink milk. So let's give her like 10 chocos and like a full cup of milk. So I was like, you know, this is not how the Americans are doing
The
it.
chocos were croutons.
Yeah,
in your
literally
milk
in my milk soup.
Okay.
Yeah, even like cornflakes. And I had this thing where I refused to eat soggy anything, right?
Yeah.
So I would only have like 8 chocos and like a full cup of milk.
Yeah.
Because I would eat them crunchy and then I would just drink the chocolate milk.
But now that I look back at our diets as kids, right? What do we have? Jam, paratha.
Yum.
Which part of that is doing anything for any of your development?
Sugar roti.
Sugar roti. Oh
A
my
classic.
God. Then what else did we have? Dalia was the only thing where they were like, okay, this is something that this kid will
It's a
benefit
complex
from.
carb, which I used to refuse to eat.
Yeah, but the complex carb is doing nothing for any other nutrition.
It would keep you full. That's it.
So we
if
were
you
basically
trying
being
to be on a
raised
cart-
like...
I used to also eat semolina noodles.
Again, doing what for whom?
And they were gross also.
They were
I used to
gross.
not enjoy them. Then French toast, but the Indian French toast, which is a savory one with an egg.
So
I guess that's
French
good.
toast was the only healthy-ish thing that we ate as kids.
Yeah. Because even with paratha, you were eating butter. I was eating plain paratha with butter. I feel like butter paratha is also not cutting it, but I didn't even like it. So I was like,
Why are we eating this?
because it's not even healthy. I not that as a child.
But I also wonder, at what point do you start thinking about, okay, this milk from an animal, let's replace it as the milk from a woman's body to a child. Let's put this cow milk here. A goat, a great source of nutrition for my child.
You know, I'm down for milk hate, but then you have to remember, if you're hating on milk, then you're hating on cheese.
I'm hating on cheese, knowing that I love it. I just
Yeah.
think as a concept, it's so strange. And then how emotional my mom gets every time I'm like, Mama, we should not be having milk. And she's like, this is nonsense. Milk. Exactly. I'm like, but we cannot digest this. We could never digest this. Why are we drinking this milk?
And the whole country has acidity.
Whole
Collectively.
country. When I enter a plane and I know it is a group of Indians and everyone is like burping by the end of it, I want to get up and say, PSA, you have gluten intolerance. PSA, you have lactose intolerance. PSA, we are eating fried food. Please.
Oh, that's propaganda. I'm not falling for that. Fried food is bad for you.
Fried
I
food.
just don't give a fuck.
Oh,
Like, to be
God.
honest, if I'm eating fried chicken or I'm eating chicken and I'm able to fit it in my macros, then it's good for me.
Fit it in your macros
Yeah.
is the name of the game. If you can bring it into the portion that is good for your body to be able to handle. It's
Yeah.
not that, okay, I wake up in the morning and then let's all eat jalebi, you know, and then let's have it with one egg.
My Sunday morning breakfast actually was jalebi and fafda.
No. I mean, it's lovely. It
And I'm
tastes good.
fine.
We're fine until
Yeah.
you're older. Have you seen those reels of like that guy comparing like older foreigners to older Indian
Indians,
people?
yeah.
And yeah, the joint health is out the door. You guys are all like we will all be struggling unless we are all yeah, we will all be struggling unless we're like healthy and working out and like getting our like some muscle to wrap around our skeletal.
But to be fair, I don't think white people also don't have acidity. I think they just are more aware that it's not normal to burp every 5 minutes. Just because of their cultural differences too.
But you know, one thing white people did to us that fucked us, and then they were like, hey, you know, this is so vibes. They ghee shamed us.
The ghee shamed us?
They ghee shamed us. It was like, ghee is actually so much better for you than
Yeah.
oil or
Yes.
sunflower oil or seed oil or whatever you're having. And we were ghee shamed. Like if you went, I don't know when you were younger if you were conscious of this, but I was like, oh, ghee, that's not cool.
I didn't like the taste.
Yeah, but it's so healthy for your joints and stuff again.
Yeah. But I was a very picky eater. Like I could eat one whole hide and seek packet for breakfast
No
and call it a
shit.
day.
If you were raised on
Yeah.
sugar, you will be a picky eater.
Yeah. But it's crazy. It's so much more work to convince an entire group of people to do something to sell a product. But I guess marketing is the way of life, huh?
Yeah.
I do have to say, I do appreciate a good marketing effort. Yesterday, I was in my car, I was driving, and Sushi was sitting next to me, and he got eye contact with these two women sitting in a rickshaw. And the woman said, "Oh my God, hi" to Sushi, and then she said, "Wait." She's taken her bag out, removed her wallet, opened her wallet, and this is the signal, okay, 30 seconds. She's quickly taken out her card, and then she's like asked me to put the window down and given me her card where she's a grooming, boarding, training person for dogs. And I have a person to do all of these things, but I am going to go to her once just because I appreciate that she was carrying her card along and she saw the opportunity, she seized it, and now she has a new customer because of it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Same with the dairy people.
Same with the
Tying
sugar
it
people.
back in. Dude, I'm still not falling for the propaganda that sugar is bad for you. I think trying to cut things out of your diet is not normal. I think everything in moderation over like cutting things out, I feel.
I agree. Because on the other side, people are like, oh, we have to eat healthy, let's have raw food. And then that raw food is putting parasites in your body.
Dude, yeah. Or we have. Someone had sent this to me because every 3 months I used to be like, oh, I think I'm going to go sugar free. I'm going to go vegan. And someone was like, hey, actually, it's an eating disorder. But do you remember one time we had a guest and on the document it said he has 2 sons or something and he didn't have 2 sons?
Yeah,
You
there's
know.
been many such documents.
Yeah, so
One
you
time a
never
document said this person was living in Bangalore, but he was living in Bandra.
That was Kenny.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that
like,
was fun.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, so when you come down from Bandra, because obviously we are sheep. I feel like if you're a sheep, you can drink milk.
All right. In closing thoughts,
I have more milk related thoughts.
you're really into this milk conversation.
Yeah, because unfortunately, almond milk is tasting like shit to me these days. So I don't know what to do,
Go back to normal milk.
I guess.
Almond milk is also messing up your hormones. Oat milk is also messing up your hormones. Normal milk is also messing up your hormones. See, the world is primarily unlivable. So you have to pick which category of product you're
Yeah.
okay to flush your system with.
Whichever product is paying me next week.
And on that note, if there is propaganda that you're falling for, please comment it down below. But one propaganda you should fall for is to
follow Moment of Silence pod. But I do think before we close, we should do like propaganda I want to propagate, or like propaganda I wish I could fall for.
propaganda I want to spread.
I want to spread the propaganda that if you raise your voice, your hair falls out. I genuinely think that must be spread.
Why?
Just I feel like people will be scared to yell.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my mom fed me propaganda once as a kid because I thought I was looking damn cute, so I kept looking in the mirror, and she literally told me that if you look into the mirror too much, you'll forget how to read.
Oh.
So I'm going to spread this propaganda. If
Do-
you look into the mirror too much, you take too many selfies, you will forget how to read.
I love that. Oh, a friend of mine's mom told him that she was the Amul girl, and he had just been telling everyone, "Bro, my mom's the Amul girl." And she showed him pictures from her childhood where she looked eerily similar to the Amul girl, and then she forgot that she lied to her child, and then. He's now 31 years old.
And you think she's
He just found out. He just found out. He was like, I've been saying this as my fun fact at every single orientation.
Can I tell you my fun fact? There was when I was a kid, Rasna was all the rage.
Yeah.
And Rasna used to have this competition for who will be the next Rasna girl. And my mom was like the momager for that 1 year. Every day I used to get dressed, she would pick out my outfit and she would make me pose. And we have a full album of me posing as the Rasna girl. I didn't get the gig. But I have this one album.
I love that.
Yeah, it's sweet.
You are the Rasna girl.
Thank you.
In my heart.
Thank
I
you
did
so
not
much.
know of this campaign. I want to spread propaganda that if you, every time you litter outside my building
Yeah.
specifically, your teeth will fall off.
That's too harsh. You have to pick something that's believable. Like Nazar, the propaganda of Nazar.
Wait, I can come up with a better one.
You know, I feel like Nazar is a soft way to keep everyone in line.
I know what propaganda I want to spread actually. When you burst firecrackers, you actually scare all the gods that come visit you during Diwali. So then they don't come to your house.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you. On that note.
On that note.
This was a different kind of episode, I feel like, for us. It's stuff that we usually, unfortunately, talk about IRL. So sorry if you thought it was boring, I guess. These are our true interests, and this is who we are as people. So if you thought it was boring, then
News to you. You followed for this propaganda for 2 years. But come back next week. And if you have any fun ideas for episodes, please drop them down below.
And recommend some new guests. We saw the comments of who y'all want us to get. Recommend some new guests. The sky's the limit. And also hype this video. We'll see you next week. Bye.